Well, boys, it has been almost 9 months, and we are finally here. This is the final preview for the English football Premier League season.
Yes.
Bit bittersweet, but we got to do it. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. That guy down below, that's Sean. He supports Tottenham. I'm James. I support Arsenal. And that's Brad. He supports Chelsea. What's going on, guys? How are we doing? Hello. You guys feeling melancholy like I am about this?
You said bittersweet. I don't. This season has been bitter, but the end of it is sweet.
Bro, yeah, okay, sure. You've had a crappy season. We're all disappointed with our seasons to some degree, but the first weekend when there's not football, that's disappointing. Like, that's not fun.
Then it will suck. Yes. But knowing that this season is over will make me very happy.
Yeah, whatever, man. So this is our final preview. Match week 38. It's coming up for you guys. We've got 10 matches all kicking off all at the same time. And if you're in America like we are, we used to be blessed by the fact that our television broadcaster, NBC, they had the rights. They have the rights to the Premier League. It was just a short few years ago when NBC played every single match on the final match day on Championship Sunday on TV. It was on like USA and NBC and CNBC. It was everywhere. It was on. They had 10 channels dedicated to the Premier League. Do you guys want to know how many channels they have dedicated to the Premier League this weekend? Wrong, Sean. One. They are showing one game of those 10 on television. The other 9 are on Peacock. So just give a round of applause, everyone, to NBC. If you're in America, well done. You guys are doing a great job of really growing the brand. Perhaps you guys have already grown the brand to a sufficient size for you guys to be able to milk the final dollars out of it. But come on, Paramount. I'm ready for Paramount to buy the rights. I'm done with NBC.
No, then they're going to stick it behind their paywall too.
Okay, but the difference is at least Paramount would be upfront with the idea that they're going to put it behind the paywall to begin with. NBC, on the other hand, had a track record of providing if you had a subscription to NBC Sports back in the day, you had the overflow channels, and they showed like 3 games every Saturday on TV. Showed 2 on Sunday on TV. Yeah, the NBC app. Yeah, everything was free. The streaming of the extra games was free. Now, once they got a stranglehold on, they introduced Peacock, and everything's on Peacock. It's just like, this is old bait and switch. And so, please, Paramount, save me from the CBS, Viacom, save me from NBC Universal. I'm done with them. They
or Warner Bros. We can get on the Max.
I'd prefer not. I go to Paramount so that we can watch everything on Paramount. What are you talking about, man? Why are we? We would prefer that everything end up in the same spot. ESPN Plus, whatever. Like, I don't care.
ESPN Plus. Let's do that. Yeah, ESPN Plus. Let's get on so I can get on my Disney bundle. Let's do that.
I don't care where it is, but if I can get rid of NBC and Peacock, I'll be very pleased. But it's not going to happen for at least the next 2 years, I think, because that's what they have right now. All right.
Are we getting some footy?
Yeah, well, let's do it.
That you will have to watch. That you will have to stream.
Yeah. So let me run it down for you guys. So I think they all start at 10 a.m. on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. But we have Arsenal hosting Wolves, Aston Villa hosting Brighton, Brentford hosting the champions Manchester City, Chelsea hosting Newcastle. That's a tasty one for Red Card Radio purposes. We got Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest, Everton and Bournemouth, Leeds and Spurs. Leeds Spurs is the one singular match being broadcast on television. So that's good for Sean down at the bar. Got Leicester and West Ham United, Manchester United and Fulham, and the 20th place team Southampton hosting Liverpool.
You're 90 minutes early. So if you get there 90 minutes early, 11:30. You can have a beer or two before it kicks off.
It's even better for me. I'll be almost done at church. Wait, no. Okay, never mind. It's perfect for me. 11:30 is perfect for me this weekend. Fantastic. I'm ready to go. So I would ask you guys which matches you guys are excited for, but in all honesty, the only three matches that matter are Everton, Bournemouth, Leeds, Spurs, and Leicester, West Ham. Those are the three. Those are the three games that matter. And Villa Brighton will be interesting. Yeah, Villa Brighton's the best
Europa
one.
Conference.
Assuming Brighton didn't get a point against City, because at time of recording we don't know. But I'm assuming that Brighton is going to beat Manchester City. I just assume it's going to happen, and so Brighton will have locked up Europa League. But if City win that game, which they should, then yes, Villa Brighton could also be an interesting fixture, and that also has implications as well, because Leeds are playing Spurs, so there's multifaceted here in the 6th, 7th, 8th range in the Premier League, because you got Brighton presently in 6th, Villa are in 7th, and Spurs are in 8th. Spurs would, I think, from a club perspective, very much like to finish 7th. Now, fans might disagree. Fans might prefer that Spurs skip out on the Conference League, but Spurs could get back into 7th if they beat Leeds, who, to Sean's point on Wednesday's episode, are super desperate. So they're playing for everything. And then Brighton beat Villa, Spurs could overtake them. But let's unpack that a little bit. Like, Leeds need to beat Spurs. They have to beat Spurs, right?
This is going to be the most. Yes, they do. This is going to be the most Spursy game ever, though, because like Spurs' recent track record is get up and then do nothing. Leeds' track record is to get up and do nothing. So who scores first? Probably loses.
I would just say, as the most extensive arbitrator of what is Spursy and what is not, the most Spursy result is a 3-1 Spurs victory.
Okay.
That is the least expected outcome, because Leeds are desperate. They're at home. We're at Ellen Road. That's the least expected thing to do. That's what they'll do. But I have zero expectation going into this. There's nothing to play for, and they haven't given me any reason in the past 3 weeks to believe that they are going to be inspired to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. Yeah. I also think Leeds know that they have to win. And so, like, if you think about it, like, Leeds know they have to win. They know Everton are hosting Bournemouth. So, like, that's not a gimme game for Everton. Like, that's levels for Everton and Bournemouth. So either one of them could take that one. Leeds know that they're playing a Spurs team who are down, injured. They're a bit wounded right now. So, like, why not? If they can go out there and beat Spurs, which
I think
could happen, and Everton don't beat Bournemouth, like, that's... Those two are close enough on goal difference that, like, it could become a thing.
You know what's crazy? The game we're not talking about right now, which I think is the easiest one for a relegation team to score, to get points.
Okay.
Leicester, West Ham. West Ham is going to be thinking about Europe. They're not going to care at all about this game.
Okay, so when is that? The Conference League match is on Wednesday, June 7th, Brad. Look at a calendar real quick.
Right.
That's a full 10.
What can West Ham do?
That's a full 10 days after the Premier League ends.
Does West Ham care about this game? Does it do anything meaningful for them besides maybe an extra £2 million?
It's probably not even that much.
It's a warm-up game. It's a warm-up. Emery's like, or not Emery.
Moyes.
Moyes is like, yeah, go out there. Let me see who's playing in the final.
It's a tempo game.
10 days of rest.
It's a tempo game. It's a let's go finish strong in the league. Let's go beat up this wounded Leicester team, and have a little bit of confidence going into this final. Like, yeah, I agree with you.
I see that. I think Leicester's going to be the hungrier of these two teams. I don't
certainly. I mean, they should be. They're the ones that need to win
by a lot. I think West Ham and Bournemouth will be like West Ham will be the least caring of the Bournemouth, Spurs, West Ham. Is
So
what I'm saying.
you think
Whether or not they are they going to go out and try and play? Yes, but are they going to be giving 100%? I don't think so.
So you think West Ham is going to rest their starting quarterback in week 17, knowing that they have a bye in the playoffs? You know what I mean? You get that analogy? Like they're going to take this week off because they know they've got a more important game coming up in 10 days.
Yes.
I just don't buy that. I think that they want the tempo. I think that they want the knowledge of they want to play so. I think that they'll play very freely. Like they won't. It will be easy for them to go out there and try and play their brand of football, and that I think they'll try to express themselves and play in a manner which is commensurate to what they think they can do.
I don't think so, but I guess we'll see. I think Leicester has the easiest of the three matchups.
I mean, I think Everton, Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth would love to spoil for Everton.
Yes.
Right? I think Bournemouth would love to beat Everton just so there's that little
that they were the ones that sent them down.
We sent you down kind of situation.
Yes.
I don't think there's particularly any specific beef between those two clubs, but at the same time you can say like we're the reasons why you went down. That's good banter.
I think we all thought Bournemouth would be the one. Like we thought this would be the reverse.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
all of us thought this would be the reverse.
I had Bournemouth getting relegated. So
yeah. So like I think they will definitely relish this. I think there's a ton of motivation for Bournemouth to do that. Spurs wanting Europe. Wanting Conference League, wanting something.
The players obviously want. I think the players would want to play in Europe. The club obviously wants it from a financial perspective. I think the only ones who wouldn't necessarily want it are the fans who are trying to like metagame it and say like, oh, if we don't have European football mucking up the schedule, then we'll be able to focus and really make a push in the Premier League to get back into the Champions League, which I think is a legitimate way to look at it.
And I think if they don't, if let's say Leeds win, they pull off the upset, and it's both Spurs and Chelsea not in European football, I think that makes a much more spicier season for next season.
If Brentford win and Tottenham lose, Tottenham would finish 9th. That's not. If Brentford draw and Tottenham lose, Tottenham would finish 9th. Like that's not where Tottenham wants to be. I think that from a pride perspective, like they want to go out there, they want to win. I think conversely, I'm rooting for West Ham. I think I'm rooting for West Ham. I can't root for Wolves this weekend. I was trying to see how low Chelsea could finish. So if Wolves beat Arsenal and West Ham beat Leicester and score by 7 goals or more, well, let's go 6 goals. And Chelsea, actually no, United's going to beat up Chelsea tomorrow. United's going to beat 3-0 against Chelsea yesterday. Excuse me for you guys when you guys are listening to this. So that'll put them at -9. Who does Chelsea finish with?
Newcastle.
James,
oh yeah. Let's
James,
go.
you can root for Wolves because you have nothing to play for. You finish second no matter what.
Yes.
You can just let Wolves win and it doesn't matter.
Is that worth it? Nah.
Is it worth it?
Nah, it would be I'll say it like this. That'll be a nice consolation prize if somehow Arsenal lose to Wolves and Chelsea finish 14th. That will be a nice consolation prize, but nah, I want Arsenal to beat Wolves.
Bringing it full circle, it will still be the same season though.
True, yeah.
Yes, 14th, it will.
14th and 2nd, same season. Fair play, yo. Let's just cut it off there. Oh, that's too funny.
Killing the banter. But let's assume Brighton lost to City, and then we got Brighton Villa fighting for
that would be a good game.
Europa League.
That would be the game. If I as a
oof.
neutral, like if I'm Will, who watches mostly primarily Italian football, like that would be the game I would watch.
Hey guys. Never mind. Sorry.
Is there anybody excited for Sheffield United to come back up?
This is where we were going to go next. We kind of want to round this conversation out a little bit with a mention of clubs getting promoted back into the Premier League. So we've already Burnley won the championship. Sheffield United finished second. So those two teams earned automatic promotion back to the Premier League. And so the championship playoff is, I believe, on Saturday, right? Is that the 27th? Is it on the 27th?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's correct.
That's at Wembley, and that's taking place between Luton Town and
Wow.
Coventry. I don't know how that happened, but the entire time in my head, I'm just thinking how you butchered it earlier. We got Luton Town and Coventry. We don't have a horse in that race, right? Do we care?
Yes.
Well, I'm rooting for Coventry because that's an original EPL team.
The OGs.
That is an OG. When they made the APL, Coventry was there. So that's the same reason I voted for Nottingham Forest to get back. So I got to be consistent. I got to root for OGs to come back. I got to root for Blackburn. I got to root for Middlesbrough. I got to root for teams like that. I got to root for all of them to come back. Let's make it whole again.
Okay.
Let's get these.
Let's
get these imposters out of here. Yeah, get these imposters out of here.
Okay.
I'm in for Luton Town because I want to go through somebody's backyard to get in for the away section.
Did you mean to mispronounce it again?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I didn't mispronounce it. He mispronounced it the first time.
So the thing about
which side you're on?
The thing about
the
Luton
problem
Town
is that they need to immediately take their first check they get from the EPL, and they have to spend about $10 million in
stadium
upgrades.
renovations. Yeah. Their stadium is way below the standard which is required by the Premier League.
Yeah, and to my understanding, it's not capacity, it's not fan oriented. It's that they don't have the camera stuff, they don't have the booth straight, they don't have the hookups. Like, they need to do infrastructure upgrades.
Yeah,
so that the Premier League can broadcast a game there.
Yeah, and it's also one of the entrances, to Brad's point, like is
the away stand. The stairs go through people's backyards.
Yeah,
essentially,
it's not up to Premier League code in terms of how you get into the stadium as well. And so
it's not safe. But I'm here for it.
Yeah, that'll be interesting, I guess. I don't really care. I don't have a preference who comes up. It doesn't matter to me. I don't think I've ever seen Luton Town in the Premier League, so let's pick them. I don't know if I've ever seen the Premier League with Coventry in it either. But we discussed this a couple months ago. So, boys, I think that's it. I think, unfortunately, that's the Premier League wrapped up for you. Now, we do, of course, just throw it out there. We have FA Cup final coming up. We've got all the European finals coming up. So we will still have a full slate of episodes for you next week. But at some point, we might move into summer mode at some point. And we'll have to figure out what that schedule is looking like for you guys. But we will definitely keep everyone apprised to what our release cadence will be over the summer. The best way to keep in contact with us is either on Twitter or in our Discord. So do all those things, and really just subscribe to the podcast on whatever platform you're watching it on or listening to it, and ring the sub notification bell if you're on YouTube. That way you'll get an email and a alert on your phone whenever we drop a new episode. But yeah, thanks for listening to us over the last 9.5 months talking about English football, and we're excited to continue doing it. But hit us up on Twitter. That guy's at KSBradG. Down below it's at Whiteheart_Sean. I'm at James Tiffany, and collectively we can always be reached at redcard_radio. But yeah, until next week, we'll have it all wrapped up with a nice bow for you next Wednesday. So definitely check back with us, and we'll have it all ready for you guys. Until then, have a good one. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you guys soon.